Radical.
Viewer discretion is advised.
About a week ago, I had an upload titled "The Netflix One Piece live adaptation is actually good." And since that time, about everywhere I've went, wearing my One Piece t-shirt. I got a One Piece t-shirt, a $9 special I got at Walmart. Fits perfect like a glove. I got a One Piece t-shirt with Luffy, the main character. And in the past week, a lot of people have had discussions with me about the show. I'm just out going places, flea market, going to get some groceries, and random people have stopped me and said, "Hey, let's talk about the live action. What do you think about the live action?" And in this week, I gotta say, I titled that upload wrong, because I feel genuinely right now that the One Piece live action adaptation is actually not good. It's not good. It is great. It is fucking great. And I know if you say that, if you drop an F-bomb early on in an upload, YouTube doesn't like that. Well, fuck you, YouTube. One Piece is fucking great. I'm not holding back on this. I ain't holding back. I'll tell you, usually I get animated, and I get animated if I'm angry about something. But it's different. I'm animated now because I'm excited and I'm happy. Like I said in my previous upload, I'm happy now that there stands at least one great Netflix anime adaptation of a show. And it came out of nowhere. I don't think anybody thought that it actually turned out as good as it did. So maybe there's that shock factor at play here when I say I think it's great, because people were not expecting it. Now, there are people out there that would not agree with that. Some people have actually said that, the show is not good. It's terrible. They don't even think it's good. They don't think it's good at all. Maybe they, might compare it to the manga, the anime. I'm a guy out here, I've not read the manga. I've only seen a little bit of the anime. I was turned off from the anime for two reasons. One, the length of the anime. Two, the god-awful artwork in spots. I think a kindergartner can draw better in some spots. Some spots look okay. Some of the fight animations I've seen look all right, but just the artwork in general is far below other shows, maybe like Bleach, for instance. But One Piece is considered one of the big three. One Piece, and then Dragon Ball, and then Demon Slayer is not one of the big three right now, but it's really popular. Naruto, Dragon Ball, and Demon Slayer. And I'm driving right now, and there's some kind of a jackass right on me, so I might got to pull over, Don't these people know that I'm recording for YouTube? I'm not going slow. I'm going like 50, and this fucker just went now almost 55. Like, nah, I ain't get a ticket for no motherfucker. I'd rather get passed up than get a ticket, because late on a weekend night, these cops are just out here waiting for that. And what are you going to say? You can say, well, they were speeding behind me. Doesn't matter. Okay. So yeah, back to what I was saying about One Piece. So I'll just skip ahead. I'll just skip ahead to it and tell you why I don't think it's good. I think it's great. There's rarely been a time that I'm thinking about a show after I watch it, and I'm looking up uploads on YouTube, other people talking about it, and I actually want to go back and watch it again for things that I missed. I'm not saying it never happens, but I have that feeling with One Piece. And maybe because it's the tone of it, for the most part, it's a fun show. There's spots that are very depressing and down. There's a scene with Arlong that's really sad, but for the most part, I want to go back and watch it again. And I'm exploring that. I'm exploring why I want to do that. I would say probably there's things that are stellar, that are standouts in this show. One, the set pieces look just stunning. Stunning. The amount of detail that went into some of these spots, some of them in the backgrounds maybe, some not so much, but like in the very beginning when they're, early spoiler, they assassinate Gold Roger. Everything about the zoom outs, the details in that scene, just great. Just great. Some of the best details I've seen, just in the sets, I would say, just the sets. But what gets me really excited is from a guy, again, I've never read the manga. I've barely seen the anime. But I can tell you, even without that, and I know it's kind of odd for some of you out there that have actually seen all the anime, feels like they just nailed the characters. Feels like they nailed the casting of most all the characters. And you know how difficult that is to do with an anime adaptation? Pretty damn difficult. I mean, I don't think they even tried with Cowboy Bebop except for maybe Jet. And in the case of Jet, I mean, like they didn't even get the color right. I'm sorry, I gotta go there. Like, they didn't even get the color right in Jet. But, you know, his voice was great, and he tried his best. But when it came to Faye, I'm just comparing it to Cowboy Bebop because that's the closest comparison there is. And Vicious and Faye, Faye's problem was that wasn't Faye. It just like they put someone in that spot, and that was not Faye Valentine in no way, shape, or form. Even what she was wearing was not what Faye Valentine would wear. It's not that character. So how you going to do a show if you actually don't even have the character? And I guess John Cho tried as Spike, but that wasn't Spike. Spike's younger guy. He was younger. He's in 20s in the anime. That was a guy in his 40s. That was John Cho. Looked like a guy in his 40s. You know, I mean, like, he tried, I guess. He got in lean shape, but you telling me you couldn't find somebody that looked more like Spike Spiegel? Seemed like it'd be a better fit than Spike Spiegel. I think they just wanted a name in John Cho. Such an odd casting. Now, if the guy responsible for the casting or the people responsible for the casting in One Piece was in charge of Cowboy Bebop, that's not even their show. I bet the creator of One Piece would get the casting better for Cowboy Bebop. I'm not going to go into every little detail about why I think that the show is great, but I'll share the main points and what makes me want to go back and revisit it. The sets. The sets are stunning. The pirate battles, the ships look amazing. Amazing. I mean, the amount of money that was dropped into this show to make sure everything just looked top tier. Must have been a lot of money, man. So I appreciate that when I'm looking at something and I know that they put a lot of money to get the look right. I also appreciate when I know that they put a lot of time and effort into getting the casting right of the characters. And unlike Cowboy Bebop, we had some people that actually were really into the One Piece anime and manga. Specifically, the girl character with the red hair, Nami. It was one of her dreams to play that character. And I think she knocked it out of the park. I think she did. I think she did great. I think the main character, Luffy, he did great. His take on that character, probably a little bit challenging from what I've seen of the anime to actually bring Luffy to life. But he did it. He brought Luffy to life. And you have Zoro, the main three, I would say. You have Zoro, who undertook a lot of training. And when we talk about that believability, the fight scenes with him were great. And his look, I mean, his look is not exactly like Zoro from the anime, but the fact that he even like got 3 ear piercings just to make sure that he got that character right. I mean, other characters, like, I would say and I forget some of their names, my apologies. The big marine boss, he was great. The little chicken shit that's trying to be a marine one day, but really he's like more of like a trainee. He's very believable. Some of the bad guys, let's see, who was a bad guy stand out? Oh, Buggy the Clown. Buggy. You can't talk about the show without talking about how that's a big upgrade. And I watched some footage from Buggy from the anime. That is a upgrade over the Buggy character from the anime. I mean, that's like shades of freaking Heath Ledger. Maybe not exactly like that. I won't say that. But you feel like that person actually watched a lot of Heath Ledger and incorporated a little bit of that in his portrayal of Buggy. Whenever Buggy's on the screen, I'm enjoying myself. I'm like, that's one funny damn clown. I do think it's great. I'm going to put some bass in my voice. I think it's great! I do. You might not agree with me. That's okay if you don't agree with me. But I just don't want to hear anybody saying that it's a terrible adaptation and it's not good. I don't want anybody to say that. Because there's no way anyone cannot see this with all the time, with all the effort into the casting, into the sets. Only somebody that was incredibly highly critical could actually not be smiling ear to ear if it's something that they loved in One Piece. I mean, I don't understand how anybody cannot see it as a great thing that something that they loved, a manga that they loved, an anime that they loved, is now getting so many eyes on it. And it's a faithful, mostly, I would say, faithful adaptation from everything that I've heard. Now, am I going to maybe watch all the anime and then have an upload later on saying this was a terrible adaptation? I don't think so. I don't. Because you have the creator of One Piece that adapted this, and I think they probably made the best decisions considering they had to cut and trim, and it would take several decades to actually probably fully adapt that into the live action show. I do think it's great. And I might go back to watching some of it again. And it's rare. It's very rare that I actually want to do that. Even if I put it on the background, just little details, man. Just to find maybe some Easter eggs or details. Now, quickly, I will say that this is not going to be a separate upload. I'm probably going to finish up my talking about One Piece right now until season 2. Oh yeah, big news. By the way, season 2 has been confirmed. They have confirmed season 2, and I think this thing's going to maybe go 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons. It just depends on how many they can kind of squeeze in. They're going long haul on this one. And I really do hope that they get to adapt all of the anime, all of it, and they don't have to, cut out early or switch the casting. If Luffy gets a little bit too old and he's he's middle-aged, then you can't have the same show. That's the downside to real life, is in real life people age. I've been adding to this recording for the past 3 days, so this might be a bit of an editing mess, but I have one last thing to add, one last thing to say about why I think this is not only a good show, but it is a great show. And that is the fact that you have people watching this that maybe have no clue that it's actually an anime or a manga. They just think it's a new show on Netflix. It's a lot of people. A lot of people that have Netflix subscriptions that don't know anything about One Piece. And when they're told that it's actually a manga and then an anime, they now want to take on the Herculean task of reading all the manga and all the anime because this show is that damn good. Were there a lot of people that saw Cowboy Bebop and said to themselves, damn, I gotta see the anime now? Probably not a whole lot of people that wasn't already invested in it. This show is a great adaptation. But its greatest strength, I think ironically, is the fact that it stands on its own as a great show. Great characters, great set pieces, great special effects. There's so many damn good things about this show that they get right. They get almost perfect. And they had they just came out of left field, man. It came out of left field. It's way better than it had any right to be, considering the track record of Netflix anime and anime adaptations in general. Now, some people might say Speed Racer. I've not seen the Speed Racer adaptation, but some people say that is, on par with this or better than this. And it's kind of like, in a way, it's running mostly unopposed for live action anime adaptations in general. But I think this sets a new watermark. I think it does. And I think anyone heavily criticizing this show needs to take another look at it and truly appreciate all the time, love, and care that was put into not only the casting, the sets, the effects. Oh yeah, one last thing. Just about everybody on this show were big fans of the series. They were heavily invested in getting things right. Hell, they did their own stunts. When you see them fighting in the courtyard versus the axe hand guy. That's all of them. Just to get this authentic. The cast did their own stunts. And they made sure when they casted people that they were able to do their own stunts. There was a lot of people lined up, ready and waiting to hate on this show. People that were disappointed with something like Cowboy Bebop. To be honest, I was one of those people. I was fully ready to rip this show a new a-hole. But I was pleasantly surprised that this is not a good show. This is a great show.